Well, I'm Robert Valenti.
I'm Harry Ruffner.
Good, okay. And our great peacemaker is going to be Ryan Islip. So we're going to start off with some background information, and so for the next 3 slides, we got this from the Beller and Chase text provided by Dr. Johnson. So first, she was born on July 22nd, 1931 in Vienna, Austria, and she was born in the religion Jewish. So escaped the Crystal Night in 1938 when she was about 7 years old. Crystal Night is bolded and italicized because we're going to go more in depth because it's a really big part of her childhood that impacted her. More information is she later, her and her parents fled to Cuba after they escaped the Crystal Night and ended up they escaped the Holocaust. Once again, this is cited by Beller and Chase text. So the Gestapo, which is a German Nazi police force, bursted into Eisler's house, like I said, in 1938, and this was happening all around in the Jewish community. What they were doing is they were going in and taking people of Jewish descent, taking them into custody, and with them not knowing, taking them to concentration camps. So her father actually was captured, and her mother had to pay to get him back, had to pay the Gestapo to get him back. And like I said, they later fled to Cuba, and later found out that they escaped the Holocaust without even knowing what was going on. So it's called the Crystal Night because so much glass and crystal was shattered throughout Jewish households and synagogues all around the Jewish community. Alright, more background information. She was about 14 years old in 1945. Her and her parents emigrated to the U.S. They arrived in Florida and later settled in California, all the way across the country. Alright, education. So she's around our age right now. She enrolled in UCLA in 1948 and majored in sociology and anthropology. She was married in 1953, and this actually caused her to drop out of college and move to Ann Arbor with her husband. She started a family with 2 kids. Later, they did get divorced, and she moved back to California. Re-entered into the law school at UCLA in 1963, and in 1965 she got her JD degree, which is her doctorate degree. Now that we got the background information, you kind of know who she is and what she went through. We're going to kind of go into what a peacemaker is. So the actual definition based on Bing.com is a person who brings about peace, especially by reconciling reconciling adversaries. That's according to Bing.com as well. So in-course concepts that we learned about with peacemakers, we have Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and we have Thich Nhat Hanh. So we obviously know who these people are through the Barash readings and any course concepts brought up, but just to brush you guys up. Gandhi was a Indian nonviolent peace activist, and MLK actually followed in his footsteps and brought this to America to start the civil rights movement and end segregation between the white and black communities. And Thich Nhat Hanh was a Buddhist monk, a Zen master, and also a nonviolent peace activist.
So now I'm going to talk about the influence. At that time, the nation was discrimination against women. She realized that many problems that she had thought were not just social problems. So she had been involved in the civil rights and women movements. So the purpose of the Women Law Center was to fight against this, as well as to provide free legal services to low-income women. A quote from her at that time saying that I was expected to be a little woman behind the important man, a role I tried to fulfill but could never adjust to. She has influenced many different areas of study peace. According to the website KrianIslam.com, she created a systemic approach to lead to building culture of peace. Her approach proposed peace education, must have education for non-violence parent, child and gender relations. Alongside with Peter Williams, they created the Spiritual Alliance to stop intimate violence. She has written a lot of books, but her books, The Chalice and the Blade, challenged cultural evolution. The book was published into many languages. So basically the book talks about the partnership system and the domination system. It shows how the conventional categories such as right or left, religious or secular, capitalist or socialist fail to show the importance of how society structures gender rules the relations. Rian has a long history with human rights. She has always been supporting women and children's rights, and this relates with peace and being against family violence.
So one last major area she influenced was economics and politics. She wrote the book A Real Wealth of Nations, Creating a Caring Economics. And basically the book talked about what to properly do with money and economics and how you could still care for people. She talked about creating an economic system that met both material and spiritual needs, so you can still help people who need it while still living a lavish lifestyle and taking care of yourself, but you're all happy and living together. The book was so well renowned that there was a quote from Archbishop Desmond Tutu who said this was a template for a better world we've been urgently seeking. So to get into why she is such a great peacemaker, we just listed out many awards she's won since the late 80s. And to highlight three main ones we thought were pretty important was she won the Pioneer Award from the Institute of Women's Leadership. She won the Global Women's Leadership Award and the Distinguished Peace Leadership Award from the Nuclear Age Peace Foundation. And we highlighted one specifically, and it was the Global Women's Leadership Award. And according to Women's Leadership Award Congress.org, the Women's Leadership Award is an award that celebrates the outstanding leadership and achievement demonstrated by women leaders that are reflected by the distinct innovations and initiatives that are brought in by the various private and non-private sectors. So she did work in many different areas that people felt has empowered women specifically and encouraged them. The award also goes on to talk about it encourages women to step up and become leaders. And we felt this is one step to be a peacemaker because people like Gandhi and MLK were leaders. People followed in their footsteps. So more background on why she should be Peacemaker of the Year. According to VFA.us, Marianne Eisler has written 95 books, with many of them being translated to multiple languages like Chinese. And as we learned from the Dr. Colin Sibley lecture, literature is a great way to spread ideas, theories, and stories from different people. You get a chance to picture what they're feeling and get a sense of where they're coming from. She's created or partnered up with people making many peace organizations like the SAIV, which is a spiritual alliance to stop intimate violence, and the Center for Partnership Studies. And both these organizations are for human rights, and they're against nonviolence, and they support women's rights and children's rights, and they want to come together and support peace. She's won multiple peace and leadership awards. She has written over 300 different publications. She's spoken at 600 events. She's given keynotes at national and international conferences, and she's lectured at universities, corporations, institutions, and governmental and non-governmental agencies. And if you were to log on to her own website, which is rianneeisler.com, you get the chance to check out her schedule and even submit to her to get a chance to her to come speak at what you need her to speak to. Do whatever it is, corporation, university, she'll do that. And to kind of tie in a couple in-course concepts we thought were pretty important was we took a quote from the third chapter of Strategic Peace Building by Lisa Schertz, and it was about valuing peace and beginning to build it. And it said, peace building aims to create societies that affirm human dignity by meeting human needs and protecting human rights. And we felt that was something strong that represented her because she supported women's rights and human rights, and she wanted to see people thrive and live together peacefully. And her book, The Real Wealth of Nations, we tied in with a positive peace section, and it was from the Barash reading, and the story of the section was global economic solidarity. And this whole section basically talked about how we don't have to live in poverty and we can get out of it by redoing different economic things economically and dealing things with our money. And that was her book, was all about that. She talked about how you can help people in need while still living a happy life.
So basically, wrap everything up. We kind of her background information and kind of what she went through as a child and what inspired her to become a peacemaker. Like her past family has passed away due to the Holocaust, so she actually escaped the Holocaust. And through her numerous amounts of awards that we showed you, we feel that she is really suited to have Peacemaker of the Year through promoting civil rights, women's rights, non-violence, domestically, intimately, anything like that. And we feel that she has impacted a kind of I don't want to say just women, but I feel all genders too, because like I said, she is a big activist towards nonviolence against children as well. So we think that she should be the Peacemaker of the Year, because she's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, she's a cool person. So we think you should pick Ryan Eisler. So, and here are our references. Any questions?
I have a question. So you reference her divorcing from her husband. So she had to give up her dream at law school, right, and move with her husband to Ann Arbor. But then she became very passionate about issues about like partner violence and things like that. Did she experience that in her personal life that you know of, or was it just did she just get divorced for whatever other reasons?
Okay, so the VFA.com is Veterans Feminists of America. What that is actually her autobiography. Mm-hmm. So there was nothing about her being domestically violated or violence or anything, abuse, anything like that. So I don't know if she did just say a quote from her was like, I stopped smoking, my marriage, and school, or something. And it said nothing about violence or anything like that. So I don't know if she was just like an unhealthy relationship, or because they did have 2 kids and everything, but she didn't say anything about that in her autobiography. Okay. We didn't find anything about her.
I just think a big thing with her is throughout like reading about her, she was tired of living in the shadow of like men. She wanted to.
Yeah, your quotation raised the question for me. Was it just I've given up my dreams over and over for this person? Yeah. I need to pursue my own sense of fulfillment.
Yeah, because when she was in school, her reason to get out was because she got married. Right. And she didn't want to be under her husband, so she wanted to be equal. So that's I think that's where her passion really came from.
Mm-hmm. Other questions or comments? All right, thank you.
What's next up?